Hello friends, welcome to JavaEE JSP tutorial. Now you are watching the final part of the video, custom tag. So in part 1 we defined the tag class using the tag library support. The class name is a simple tag support, and from simple tag support we derived our class, and then we linked that class through the TLD file, tag library descriptor file. So TLD file we saw in the part 2. Now we will start using the custom tag. So let's have a quick preview. So these are all the prerequisites. That means to go ahead with this example, you need Eclipse Neon, Wildfly, then some basic knowledge of a servlet. After that, you need database setup. Why? Because here we read the data from the database. So the custom tag is for displaying the book titles, right? That means the book titles. That means the book titles we are pulling it from the pubs database. So the Microsoft supplied pubs database, and on that pubs database the table name is titles. From the title table we make a SQL query and we will pull the data. Then we will populate the bean, and that bean we will pack inside a array list. All these stuffs are done by a servlet, and those implementation are here in this video. So that's why the prerequisite here. First you need Wildfly and Eclipse Neon. Then you need this database setup. This one is optional. So the previous video we talked about the simple tag support class, and after creating this tag support class, the do tag here, that's the important method. Do tag you have to override, and this do tag will tell how we want to render a specific tag. Next we talked about the TLD file. The TLD file will link that tag class as well as the JSP file. So in the previous video we defined our tag library class. Now here we will start using our custom tag. If you see here, this one, TagLib. So here we are not using this TagLib from JSTL, but for comparison purpose I provided it. So in our previous example, when we learned about the JSTL, Java Standard Tag Library, we used this kind of page directive, the JSP file directive. So taglib directive we used, %@taglib. URI we specify it as JSP, JSTL core prefix C. So since we used previously, we used the prefix C, that's why when we created the tag we specified it as a C if or C out, all the stuff. Then we specified the tag. Similarly, to use our lab, if you see, for comparison purpose, the same way we are using taglib, but here in the URI, instead of using this JSP JSTL core, we go with our tube coding example JTags. So this is defined inside our tag library TLD file, right? So we have a URI section. You can refer the file in the URI section. In the URI tag, we specified this. Next, prefix scenes. So here this is actually the JSP content, JSP file content only here we are displaying. Prefix, I am using it as my, you can use any prefix like a C, you can put a K, then when you are using the tag you have to use the K prefix. Alright, next here inside the body, so this is some normal HTML tag h1, a div tag we are ending it here. Here we are setting some style attribute, font, background color, all the stuff. So what is important is here we are using our custom tag. If you see here, list books, this is the tag which is defined inside our tag library, then books attribute, and we are supplying the book titles. So that's all here, and this book title will contact the TLD file, and from TLD file it will know what is the tag class, and once it knows the tag class, it goes to the do tag method to perform the rendering. Okay, now it is demo time. Let's go to the demo. So we already have books and display books too. Now let me create one more JSP file, new JSP file, and file name is displaybooks3.jsp, and next we will use the JSP with the HTML markup template, and here I am clicking finish. So at the top of this JSP file, here if you see, this is our TagLib URI. Here we are specifying it as a HTTP tube coding example JTags, and it will go to this book titles.tld, and it will find that URI here. You can see that URI. So from this URI, it finds all the tags defined here in this namespace on this specific URI. Here we have only one tag, it's highlighted here. Likewise, you can keep a multiple tag. All right, and we are prefixing it with my. So next, inside the body tag, we start using our custom tag. So the custom tag here is list books, and the prefix is my, so it will go here, prefix is my, then it goes to the URI, I mean the wildfly runtime. So from this URI it goes to the tag library definition. So in the tag library definition it finds the URI. Alright, now my is done. Next, list books. List books, when it comes here, the tag is list books, and from this list books it knows what is the implementation class. So it comes here, this is the implementation class, so it finds the implementation class. All right, next we define the attribute books equal to $book titles. So inside the tag attribute, it knows what is the attribute name is books, type is array list. So when you are pausing here, it will make sure the content is array list. Then it goes to our tag library class, and it make use of this setter method to set the books. After setting the books here, it performs the do tag. So do tag will render the HTML content. Now let's go here. All right, now let's explore what is this dollar book title. The flow will be like this. So when we are executing this sample, we will go to our servlet. So in display books, we will invoke this servlet by a URL pattern. So our URL will have this display books, and it the wildfly will invoke this servlet. So when it is coming here, if you see here, we are making a query. This is the select query, select title type price from titles table of pubs database, and before that here we used our JNDI name. So all these stuffs are explained in the that 4-part video. Just for a recap, if you see here, we are executing the query, then here we are forming an array list. Then while we are iterating the record set, we create our bean, titles bean. So title bean instance we will create, then we set its attribute, then we populate our array list titles. So what is important here is, if you see here, we are setting the attributes request.set attribute to book titles. That is what here we are referring, book titles. In the servlet, we are setting a request attribute to book titles, and the actual data type is titles. Titles, if you see, it's array list of title bean. So that is set here. So since it's in the request context, now we are using the version 3, right? I will make this correction. So when we are creating the request dispatcher, the request dispatcher will get this request attribute book titles. So that's what referred here using the JSTL syntax. So this variable is available through JSTL because it is part of the request context. All right. So now we know from here how it works. So it goes to the TLD, from TLD to tag, and in the tag, do tag, we perform the rendering. All right, now we will start the server. So JSP example is in a stopped state. Let us start it. This will perform the deployment. JSP examples. This is our web project, so it is deployed. Now we will go ahead and execute our servlet. And if you see, it uses our custom tag, and so here I am using the Microsoft Edge. So using our custom tag, we displayed it, and this is in IE. This is the inbuilt browser. So what we are doing here in so first we open a paragraph tag. So book title is displayed in one paragraph, and if I come here, this is the book title. So this entire div is part of the HTML. If you see here, we use a div tag, right? That's why you are seeing that in a different color, this background color. So next, in a separate paragraph, we are printing the type and price. So the paragraph tag is closed, and in the next paragraph we print the type. We put a comma here, then we print the price. Right, that's all here. And if you see, the tag here is simple. It's just in JSP programmer perspective, they simply need to use this tag, and as a tag library developer, you will just give this tag name. That means as part of the API, you will say that the URI is this one to use my tag library. Then the tag name is list books, and you have to use books attribute, and that's mandatory when you are writing the documentation, I mean. And to this books attribute, supply a array list. That's all. So remaining array list in the sense it's a titles collection. That's also your tag library will take care of remaining stuff. So the JSP programmer can use this at multiple places in a different JSP file once it is developed. So all they have to do is these are all the steps they have to do. So they have to use the TagLib in their JSP file. After that, they can start using it like this. All right, now we will stop the server, and now it's time to take a backup. You can take a backup of your workspace, zip it and place it somewhere after closing the environment. So using our video, if you are continuously developing the applications, at the end of each video we would advise to take the backup. And so when something gone wrong when you are experimenting by watching the video, at least you can go back to your previous backup and continue from there instead of losing everything, every workspace stuff. That's all here in this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.